That's the best thing that Bill O'Reilly ever gave us is fuck it. We'll do it live. We'll rewrite it and we'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Like right now. Like it's on now. So, just so you know. Hi. We're charming. You know that we are.
Fuck.
We are. We need those shirts. That's what we need.
Yes. Go to the Chive and order. Yeah. We were discussing this at my work a couple weeks ago. I need a special treatment shirt. I need to be treated special because, you know, I'm different and I don't want to be treated like everybody else. Because, you know, I'm special.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously, because you're a pretty princess. And
exactly.
People should just, your subjects should just bow down to you and they should be informed of that via a t-shirt.
Right. Because, you know, everybody pays attention to what's on everybody's t-shirts and does exactly what those t-shirts, because let's face it, it all started back in the 80s when it's, you know, Frankie says, relax.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Because that wasn't at all sexual in any way, shape, or form.
I've seen that video. Oh my goodness.
It is something else.
I want to play it. Oh my God.
Yeah, you know, when you grow up
later, and I still don't want to see it.
You know, you grow up and then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, whoa, and I sang right along with that song when I was younger. Right, good to know.
Exactly.
Anywho, so this week, we're just annoyed with Hollywood in general. Because they're a bunch of whiny crybabies and they don't understand what reality is and they live in their own little worlds.
I put this out on Facebook because, you know, if I put it on Facebook, people can have more times to read it. And the question was, if you're on Tumblr, you'll understand this. Is Tumblr following Hollywood or is Hollywood following Tumblr? Because their thoughts are almost the same.
Really, though?
It is, because I love the Anon Mail that you because on Tumblr they have this really awesome feature that I totally love, where you can send somebody mail anonymously, and I got one saying blue eyes are the most oppressive.
What? Wait, how does that even compute? I'm confused. So that means my husband is an oppressor. Okay, good to know.
I just got out of work, and so I totally like Kimmy Schmidt's it. What is her last name? Schmidt?
Yeah.
So I submitted it. So I'm like, blue eyes are oppressive. I'm like, okay, if I have to wear sunglasses all the time, I'll take that oppression.
That's like, who comes up with these things? I'm so confused. It's just, people, you have too much time on your hands if you're like coming up with people with eye colors are oppressive. Like, what? I have really unique eyes. Like, I can't answer the eye color chart thing because they don't fit in. Technically they're hazel, I guess, but they're not. They're green and gray and they're weird. They change with whatever I wear. So my eyes are weird, which means that when I wear blue, my eyes look a little bit blue. So does that mean when I wear blue, I'm an oppressor?
According to Tumblr, yeah.
Cool.
But see, you're already oppressive because of your skin tone.
Shoot, that's right. But I'm a girl.
True. Yeah, but you know what? You're cisgendered.
Yeah, I do enjoy my husband. That is true. You know what else I like? I like to bake. and I kind of am enjoying cooking now more than I did before, because I find recipes that I can actually make. I'm horrible in the kitchen unless I bake. I can bake. But I made this potato soup last night that was ridiculously good. Anyway, and everybody ate it, and they all loved it.
Woohoo!
So I guess with my husband having blue eyes and me being a girl and him being all like white and stuff, I guess that
Heteronormative, cisgendered. Very important. And you're able-bodied.
I am able-bodied. Well, but I have arthritis and tendonitis in my knee, which sometimes cripples me on certain days.
Yeah, but you're not stuck in a wheelchair and you have all your limbs. So you're still considered able-bodied.
All right, I'm able-bodied.
Yep, sticker yacht. I'm just going by Tumblr logic here.
Right, I know. It's okay, but all right. I have to be done with that because that's going to hurt my head. And that hurts my head more than what recently occurred in Hollywood.
What happened in Hollywood? Please tell me. You live close.
Oh my. Okay, so we're in awards season right now. We had like
I want an award.
Well, you already have everything because you're a pretty princess and your subjects bow down to you.
Okay.
So I mean, we can maybe find an award for you, but
I think I should get it for most magical unicorn hair.
Yes, I agree. We will do that. We'll get right on that. All right. But so the Golden Globes happened, and they were pretty much awesome. Leonardo DiCaprio won a Golden Globe for his role in The Revenant, and then
he was raped by a bear.
I know. I still have to see it. And then after the Golden Globes is when they announced the Oscar nominees. And I was watching, not live. Sometimes I get up and watch it live because I'm weird. But live is like 5 in the morning, and that's just ridiculousness. But I watched the tape delay, I guess, of it. And I was like, ooh, these are really good performances. And I'm like writing stuff down of stuff I haven't seen. And I didn't really think anything of it. I was just thinking, well, hey, they've nominated the people that gave the best performances, right? Wrong. Apparently, all the nominees for acting, both supporting and best, are all white.
What? No.
So I didn't really notice and I didn't really care, but maybe that's because of my white cisgender, what is that? Heteronormative white privilege stuff. Maybe that's why I didn't notice. But I think mostly I didn't notice because I don't care. It doesn't matter. Did you put in a good performance? Hooray! I don't care what the color of your skin is.
Right.
But some people did care. Notably, Jada Pinkett Smith and Spike Lee, who apparently decided to go on this little tirade about how lily white the Oscars are and how they're all racist and whatnot because no black performers were nominated this year, or I guess last year. I don't know. I didn't go and it doesn't matter to me because you know what? Did you put in a good performance? Hooray! Did you not? Okay, then you're not going to get nominated. That's how it works.
Yeah. I remember that they were bringing up like they don't know who's really part of the Academy. You know, like they don't know like names, you know. It's supposed to be like a secret list, but they know the makeup. Like so many of, you know, so much of the percentages are white male and, you know, da-da-da. Here's my thing. Cuz I'm on the same line as you. But here's my big thing, and I never really thought about it much until this past CPAC. When somebody won Blogger of the Year. And I brought it up to our friend Duke over at FTR, and he's like, yeah, that's really great. Who won last year? And I'm like, quick Google search. And I'm like, and like, oh crap, because it was a big thing last year that so and so won. Well, that's great. Are you going to remember who they are next year when somebody else wins? And that's kind of what these award shows are. In all honesty, I can't tell you who won one Oscar last year. Not the year before. I couldn't even tell you the year that Denzel Washington or Halle Berry won. Why? Because no one cares anymore.
No, but I can tell you what
Really
dress she wore. She had a really fabulous. Halle Berry, she had a beautiful dress that year.
Oh, yeah. Like, I remember her being on, I remember when she won.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you what year.
I don't remember.
It's one of those things, no one's going to remember.
No. Not really. I mean, some people do. So, like, I used to be really, really big into the Oscars. Like, so big, I threw an Oscar party every year with champagne and door prizes, and people filled out their ballots before it started, and we threw popcorn at the screen if we didn't agree with what the Academy did, and or if we just didn't like somebody, and they had to keep the popcorn away from me anytime Nicole Kidman was on the TV, because I had a tendency to throw a lot of popcorn at it. But
well, you were just trying to feed her.
No, not really. I wanted to hit her in the head, but that's a whole nother story. But okay, so here's the deal. So Jada Pinkett Smith and Spike Lee are going to boycott the Oscars. They're going to boycott the Oscars because the Oscars are not, I guess, fair, for lack of a better term. You're right. The Oscars are not fair. They are there to see performances and decide that those performances are worthy of being nominated. And then those that are nominated, we look at those performances and decide which of those 5, or now in the movies, like the Best Picture, I think they have 9 or 10.
I think it's 10.
10 now. Which of those is the best of that small grouping? Which is awesome. That's exactly how it should be. That's how award shows have been forever. You get into this elite group, and then maybe you'll win. Now, here's my argument for as to why the Oscars are not fair. Are you ready? The Oscars are not fair because if they were, Leonardo DiCaprio would have like 10 Oscars already. But he has none. He's never won. He keeps getting nominated. He's the Susan Lucci of the Oscars.
My favorite, the meme that has come up with Leo and the Oscars is, like, in a few years, somebody should, like, make a biopic of Leonardo DiCaprio, and then the guy who plays Leo gets an Oscar.
I could see it totally happening. But I'm really excited this year because I actually think Leo has a shot. Apparently this role was just he threw himself completely into it. It's apparently the best he's ever done, and that's saying a lot because he is a hell of an actor. I don't really agree with his politics too much, and that's fine. Whatever. He should probably not talk about that stuff because he's pretty to look at, and he is a very good actor.
Yes.
And I want him to be recognized. I want him to be recognized by the Oscars. He was recognized by the Golden Globes for this role, so I'm hoping that translates this year. I hope this year is his year. But here's the thing. So because of this little boycott thing and that, the Oscars are lily white and whatever. Oh, we need to mention one little thing here. Yeah, Spike Lee, who's one of the ones who's leading this whole boycott campaign, guess who just got an Oscar in November at the governor's dinner?
Yeah.
Spike Lee.
No.
Do you think he's going to give it back?
Of course not.
Probably not. No. So anyway, so he's mad at an organization that honored him with an honorary Oscar for his body of work. Anywho, but here's the crazy part. This is where I know we're living in a parallel universe and that I would like to get out of it now and go back to the real world. The Academy is now looking to revamp how they do their nominations so that it is more fair, so it is more inclusive.
You know, when this first started happening, I'm like, oh my goodness, they're gonna make it like affirmative action. You know, you gotta fit quota, and it's not gonna be fair to like the people that give really great performances and who've done, you know, what they were supposed to do, because, well, yeah, you did really great, but you know what? You're white or you're Latino or whatever, and we already have that, and we really need one of, you know, this ethnic group to fit in. So sorry. In my head, I remember the movie Speed with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock.
The mom is on the bus. Okay, sorry.
Okay, all right. When it came out, I forgot what comedian made this comment, but I always remember it. And they made a comment about that bus scene, about how diverse it was. Like they're like, all you needed was a spear fisherman from Alaska and some other like off the wall ethnic, you know, to throw on a bus to make it completely like you had like almost everybody from like the USA was represented on the bus. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's going to be the Oscars from now on. Yep. We need to have like this kind, you know, we got to have at least one person with Asian background. We got to have one person from, you know, that's like from the subcontinent of India. We got to have one person that's Latino. We have to have one African American. We got to have the one white person, but one white cisgender, and we got to have one white from the LBTQ, RSTV, UD, whatever crowd.
Yeah. Which I don't get it. I don't understand. The Oscars have always been about talent. The best performances you have put in for the year. The best scripts, the best movies, the best directing, the best cinematography. That's why the categories are the nominees for Best Director, Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor. You see that word best that's in there? Now we're going to have to call it the nominees for the quota filling actors are like, right. It's going to be ridiculous. And the Oscars have through the years become less and less good in how they do things, and this is going to make them completely useless.
Yeah,
no one's going to care. The prestige of saying I'm an Academy Award winner, that prestige is gone if you make this move.
Exactly. Here's the thing. I love my golden age of Hollywood. I will always have a place in my heart for it. Back in the day when they had the Academy Awards, before it was televised. Yes, people. There was a time where the Oscars weren't televised. And it was like, you know, it was kind of like the Golden Globes, because when they first started televising it, they actually had people sitting down at tables and, you know, because it was a small little affair, and it took, what, I think an hour and a half, if that, to do the whole ceremony.
Categories. They really just went with like script, directing, picture, supporting actor.
And what was it, the fanfare?
And now we have like 20 categories. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And you don't have the fanfare, like you don't have as many, you know, song and dance numbers, and you don't have this, and you don't have that. It's like the same thing that's been going on with the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl used to be about this really awesome thing called football.
Yeah.
But I wrote a small piece about it last year, very small, that they actually went through the footage of like the previous year's Super Bowl. Out of the, like, what, 3 hours that it's actually the Super Bowl, we're not talking about everything leading up to the Super Bowl, because there's like hours before the Super Bowl even happens of everything that's happened that year. Of just the Super Bowl, from the coin toss to when, you know, the clock ran out, Only 13 minutes of that 3 to 4 hours was actual gameplay. 13 effing minutes. Why do I want to tune in? If I want to watch a football game, I want to watch a football game. Yeah, the commercials may be great, but you know what? They're not as good as they used to be before the hype happened. And that's the same thing with like the Oscars. They used to be great, and then the hype happened, and it's like, oh, well, you guys kind of suck now.
And now it's all about the dress and who are you wearing and how much money are you wearing on you in your jewelry. And
same thing with like the MTV Movie Awards. When they first started that, I loved watching it because it was kind of like the tongue in cheek. You didn't have to wear your Oscar gowns. You got to be a little bit more laid back type of thing. And then like something just happened, and I don't even want to watch anymore. It just became like ridiculously stupid. I think Oscars are going to go the same way as the MTV Movie Awards, where they're like, oh, we have to make it hip for the younger crowd. We got to do this. We got to do this, to make it more appealing to the millennials.
When you set rules like that, then you set yourself up for failure. I honestly, my favorite moment in Oscar history, since I was watching it, and that's been a long time, because it's a staple. It was a staple in my household growing up, and it was a staple in my household until about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. My favorite moment of all time. I'm gonna let you take your drink before I say this, because I'm afraid you might spit it all over your computer. My favorite moment is Trey Parker and Matt Stone showing up in J-Lo's dress and Gwyneth Paltrow's dress.
Yeah, that was a thing of beauty.
That was my favorite moment ever, because they showed the Academy, hey, you dumbasses, you actually nominated our movie for something. Watch us show up. Man, I wish they had won, but they didn't.
No, but I like the fact that they were even nominated, because as in the kind of like, in your face as South Park kind of gets, and the way that they do things. The guys are really brilliant, and sometimes they have had very prophetic episodes. Like they'll put something out there, and like 5 years later it happens. You're like, holy crap, how'd they know?
Well, and the thing is I love that they got nominated for a song from South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. And what I love about that is that both Trey Parker and Matt Stone have a background in musical theater. They, I don't know how many people really know that the Book of Mormon is actually their musical. They wrote it. It's theirs. And
I believe it.
And they're really good with musical theater. In fact, I think it's Trey Parker is in the movie Newsies. He's actually one of the chorus people in Newsies. You'll see his name on there. That's where he started.
I have to rewatch it.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Because I know a lot of people hate that musical.
And, I love it. I love it. I love this.
That was my introduction to Christian Bale, and you can never take that away from me.
No, never.
No.
He's so young. But
so young. And here's the thing. There's something about a guy that can dance.
Yep. And Trey Parker was doing all the dance moves, like the blah, blah, whatever. He was out there. I can't dance. He was doing the dance moves and singing, and he can sing. He can actually sing. So can Matt Stone. They both are stage trained performers, and they tripped and fell into South Park. They put together a stupid little thing that they thought wasn't going to go anywhere. Freaking Comedy Central was like, yes, give us more. And in fact, there's a great quote. I think it's Trey Parker who said it. He was being interviewed, and he was asked, where's the end for South Park? And his answer was, We've been waiting to be canceled for 18 years.
Yeah.
Because they push that envelope, they push it. And in fact, actually, this is a cute little story, and we're totally off track, but this is so cute. So when they were making the movie, the South Park movie, all movies, regardless of what they are, have to go through the MPAA. They are if you could find it, there's a movie called This Movie Is Not Yet Rated, and it is all about the MPAA and their system of doing things. Well, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they had to get an R rating. They couldn't get an NC-17. They had to keep it as an R rating. So they sent what they had to the MPAA, and they have to watch it, and they have to determine whether or not it warrants a particular rating or not. So they sent it back to Trey and Matt, and they said, hey, you know, you're going to need to rewrite this because we can't in good conscience give it an R rating. It needs to be an NC-17 rating. And they're like, okay, fine. So what they did was they rewrote the scenes and redid them and made them worse. And sent them. And I got them back. No, you can't. No, you misunderstood. We can't. We have to have this. You need to clean this up. This is not right. So they would send a third one, even worse than the first two. And I think they sent 4 or 5 like horrific versions of their movie. And the MPAA was like, oh my goodness, you can't. No. They sent the original back to them and got an R rating.
That's brilliant. That is.
Like, only they would think to do that.
Right. No, you were bringing up how Matt and Trey are like more, you know, have the music back, more of a music theater background, and they just kind of tripped and fell into South Park. I don't know how often you watch Portlandia.
I haven't actually watched any of it. I know I need to. I know, but I just got embroiled in Fringe and Supernatural, so I don't have room for anything else.
Okay. Here's the thing. I love it because it's kind of like a sketch show, but they're like little sketches and they have like recurring characters. And but I was watching like behind Portlandia, and I found out that both Fred and Carrie they met because they were both in punk bands. and so they had like that music background, and they kind of like just trip and fell into comedy, and they started off like this like little web type of show, and then kind of like manifested into Portlandia. And it was, so when you brought up the, you know, Matt and Trey, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's kind of the same thing. Though Portlandia is a little bit different than South Park, but it has that same, like, I want to say like almost like a punk rock-esque to it, where they don't follow the norm of what other people do, and you never know what you're going to get or see in any particular episode. So just the parallels.
I've been told I need to watch it. I'm trying to.
I'll send you my favorite clip. I will say my favorite clip of theirs. It's called "This is an art piece" or something. I'll find it. I'll show. It's because every time we have art prize in Michigan, it just reminds me of this is an art piece, because everything is an art project. Oh no, this is an art project because everything's an art project.
Oh my goodness, that's like I have to say one of my favorite scenes in any movie anywhere is in LA Story. And if you haven't seen this movie, please do yourself a favor. It's Steve Martin. It's amazing. If you know anything about Los Angeles, this movie will make you laugh so hard. It's really good. But there's a fantastic scene, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but they're at an art gallery, and there's 4 of them. Yeah, 4 of them at the art gallery. And you're looking at them from the perspective of being the painting, if that makes any sense. Like, you're looking at them that's looking at the painting. All of them, except for Steve Martin, have this expression on their face. Steve Martin narrates what they're looking at. I want to know what the outtakes were for this scene because I know he ad-libbed everything he said. It is brilliant. It is hysterical. And the fact that the other three actors in the scene are constantly just like this while he's talking, they all deserve Oscars for that because what he is saying is so freaking hysterical. And then when they back out and show you what the painting is, you die. You're dead. You're just dead. It's, oh my God, it's hysterical. So do yourself a favor, watch LA Story. It's really, really good. But yeah, we got like totally off track.
Yeah, what were we oh yeah. Oscar's So White.
Oscar's So White. So yeah.
I always find funny because here's the thing. Up until what? A few years, it wasn't like I don't think it was until Halle Berry won her award. And then all of a sudden it started getting more traction. Well, why is she the first one to win it? And then, you know, it was for Best Actress. Why was she the first? Because there have been people who weren't white that have won Oscars before, but they just haven't won Best Actor and Best Actress until Denzel and Holly. So that's kind of like started but it wasn't until like I swear, I think it started like what, 2-3 years ago is Oscar's So White. And I'm sitting over here going, y'all are still watching award shows? Because
yeah.
I kind of gave up on them because when I was younger, I loved watching it because there was like a little bit of class to them.
Mm-hmm.
But lately it's just more about blowing smoke up each other's derrieres. In all honesty, I'm waiting for Kanye and Kim to win like an Emmy or something.
Now, here's my argument to the Oscars So White thing. So we were talking about how when they first started, they were kind of Golden Globe style. You sit down, have dinner, you wine with dinner and everything. Okay. 1939 was a big year for movies. Huge. Because both Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind came out that year. Both those movies came out in 1939. I know this because Wizard of Oz is my favorite movie and Gone with the Wind is my sister's favorite movie. Her name is going to escape me right now. I'm sorry, I've been drinking. But the Best Supporting Actress award went to the gal who played Mammy.
Hattie McDonald.
There you go. See, between the two of us, we got this. She won the Academy Award in 1939. Please come talk to me about racism in the Oscars. Please, by all means. Can we also talk about that Butterfly McQueen was also nominated for her portrayal in Gone with the Wind?
You know what? Here's the thing. I always loved her name. Here's the thing. I love the fact that somebody named their child Butterfly.
I love it. I love it. And her character is amazing. I don't know nothing about birth and no babies. She's amazing. And she got nominated. And can we just talk about how slaves were portrayed in Gone with the Wind? They were part of the family. Big Sam, when he sees Scarlett, he's like, Miss Scarlett. She's like, Big Sam. They have a big hug. They haven't seen each other in a long time. They're like besties. But yeah, no, total racism. Absolutely. Let's talk about racism in Hollywood.
Yeah. Oh
no, you want to talk racism in Hollywood? How many white actors have been nominated for BET Awards?
Wait, I'll give you a second on that one.
I'll wait.
Oh yeah, you know what we were gonna also bring up just because of the songs you brought up the BET Awards. Why is there not a category for best white rapper?
Right?
throwing it
I
out
mean,
there.
it would be small. There would only be like maybe 1 or 2 nominees, but still.
Right? I mean, if you did it overall, you might get up to 5.
Maybe. We almost got to 5, I think, if we included Iggy Azalea.
Yeah.
But
I
but some of the ones that we said don't actually perform anymore. So there's that. I don't know. But no white actors have been nominated for BET Awards. None, not a single one. Why? Because it's the Black Entertainment Awards. Okay. Now, I wrote a whole thing on Facebook about, I wrote a little letter to Jada and Spike about their nonsense. It got shared more times than I thought it would, which was crazy. But basically, I called them out for, look, you don't boycott the Oscars. You flip the script and you bring good projects that the Oscars, that the Academy can't ignore.
Exactly.
Spike Lee makes movies. He makes movies. Some of them are good. Not all of them.
No.
And I've seen almost all of them because I actually like his work. I think he's gritty and he's different. I haven't seen Chirac yet. When it's out where I can see it, I will see it because I am curious what he did with it.
Right.
But dude, you are a screenwriter and director. Why are you not making movies that will get nominations?
Right.
And Jada, you and your husband have a production company. Why aren't you producing movies that would get noticed by the Oscars? And don't tell me that you are, because you're not.
No.
They'd be noticed if you were.
If you break it down, because this is why I have a hard time watching the Oscars, because I know my movie watching habits, and they're not Oscar movie watching habits. Break it down. What kind of movies are always up for Best Picture? It's usually those 3-hour long epic like type movies. Like it's like what, Titanic, Dancing with Wolves, My Left Foot, The English Patient. You know, though beautifully written, beautifully, they're not like the movies that you take your kids to on the weekends, or you know, that you just pop in and watch at a moment's notice. You know, they're not those type of movies. They're thinking movies. They're, you know, they're not my type of movies. Don't get me wrong, like they're beautifully done, and I've seen some of them, but if I'm going to watch a movie, I'm more of an action comedy type of person. Throw in a musical here and there, but not like these really long where my butt fell asleep. Oh my goodness, you know, like where you got to keep, you know, going like this. Like watch Forrest Gump, and I'm like, I need to go for a walk for a second. Can we pause the movie?
Yeah, I find most Oscar movies that are nominated, they're nominated because they are quite cerebral. They have a deep story. They're oftentimes very dramatic. It's oftentimes about subject matters that are almost taboo or that are not covered typically in movies.
Right.
I take Schindler's List is a really good example. I actually went and saw that movie on a first date.
Because that's a great way to start off a relationship.
It really is. It was really amazing. And obviously that relationship totally panned out because I'm married to somebody else. But it was a first date movie. I literally have not seen it since then. Could I tell you pretty much everything about the movie? Yeah, because it made that much of an impact on me. I just can't watch that again. It hurt my soul to watch it.
Which is what movies are supposed to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you got your escapism movies, which is the ones that I enjoy. I like my escapisms. But there are movies that I have watched, and like you said, you only need to watch them once because they made that kind of an impact on you that you are never going to. They've scarred your mind forever. They're in there.
Mhm.
You're never going to forget them.
The fact that I can actually still look at Ralph Fiennes and go, oh, he's pretty, is, it takes an awful lot for me to do that because his character in Schindler's List is so evil. I mean, vile on like, I don't even know how he got through playing that character because it was just awful. But
I haven't watched that movie yet, but I'm going to guess that kind of helped him understand the character that he played in Harry Potter a lot more. And I can't say the name because he shall not be named.
okay, well, I'm going to tell you right now that that character is nowhere near as evil as what he plays in Schindler's List. I'm not joking about that. It's incredible. But that movie made such an impact on me. I haven't needed to see it. I actually don't even own it because I don't want to be tempted to watch it again because it hurt me so much. Another one along the same lines is Life is Beautiful. I saw that. Whew, that movie.
Who's in it? Because it sounds familiar.
I'm gonna forget his name, but he did win the Oscar, and the movie won the Oscar.
Oh, is it the
Italian?
Italian guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I remember him because that his walk up to accept the Oscar was one of the most memorable things ever because he stood up on a chair.
Yes, he did.
I will never forget that. I forgot his name, but it was Roberto something.
Yeah. I'll probably think of it in about 10 minutes. But
right.
that movie made such an impact on me that I do not need to see it again. Do not watch Schindler's List and Life is Beautiful on the same day. You'll kill yourself. Don't do it. Just my PSA to you, from me, don't do it. Spread them out 6 months apart from each other. Like, really, they're great movies, and they're definitely
spread out your depression.
Yes, you want to stretch that out because it's a lot. Both movies are very, very powerful, and they both deserved the Oscar. They really did because they were just tremendous movies.
I believe it. Here's my when I think of like, okay, nowadays I don't really think about much about the Oscars. I'm like, oh, it's on. Oh, well, I know what channel I'm not watching. But when I try to think of like these prestigious type awards, you know, whether it be the Tonys, the Oscars, whatever, I'm going to throw out two names, and I don't know how many people out there will even know one of these names. One is Orson Welles, and the other one is John Houseman. Because they were at the very beginning of like the Broadway stage and then going into the movies. And they had an interesting relationship, professional relationship. But you should like look them up because, and if all else fails, what's the name of that one movie? I forgot the name of the movie. It's not the Cradle Will Rock, I think is what it's called, and it portrays,
yeah,
the union movement back in the on Broadway back in the day, and you could kind of see the relationship between those two, and it was beautifully done. But both of them had a high standard of what acting was. That you don't see nowadays. There's a few people that still hold that acting to, it is an art form, and they hold it up to like a great art form, like a Leonardo da Vinci art versus Andy Warhol type of art. You know, like, yeah, they're both art, but there's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have your masters of art, and then you have your pop culture or your modern art, where you could take a canvas, paint it completely red, and you could sell it for a couple $1,000s if you're a good BSer.
Yep.
You know, to me, that's kind of what's going on with acting, is that you have people that take it where, like we mentioned earlier, Christian Bale. We've seen what he's done to his body. Let's face it. What was I forgot the movie where he basically like emancipated himself, where he was skin and bones. Was it for American Psycho? Was it American Psycho he did that? No, it was The Machinist. The Machinist. He like lost like crap ton of weight. And then we saw him as Batman, and he was buff. And then the American Hustler, whatever it was, he gained big old pot belly. You know, same thing with Robert De Niro. Gained weight, did tremendous things to their bodies for the role.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they kind of put themselves into it. You know, and those are the people that I kind of admire when it comes to acting, because they become that character, and it's hard to differentiate between them. Nowadays, the actor that does that the most is Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark, because nobody can tell the difference anymore.
No, they're pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Which is fine. He's perfect in that role. But, like, if the Oscars do actually make this move where they have quotas and fairness and blah, 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 they're going to be obsolete. No one's going to care. No one's going to... That... Like I said before, that prestige of Oscar-nominated Academy Award winner.
Oh, yeah.
Gone, because it won't mean anything anymore, because the performance isn't what's being, or the directing or the script writing. I have an Oscar winner in my family. I am crazy proud of him for winning the Oscar. But that gets diluted if you start talking about fairness and quotas and making sure that everybody is equal, la, la, la. No, not everybody is equal. Some actors are better than others.
No, I want to kind of akin this to the Olympics. You know, you have how many people enter into the Olympic arena? Only 3 people get medals, and only one of them is gold, and nobody remembers who the other 2 are.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? It's you have to work at it. It's not everybody gets a participation trophy. You know, like, oh, you showed up today. Here's your trophy. Yeah, you. You got out of bed today and you got dressed. Yeah, you. You actually combed your hair. Yeah, you.
It's sickening, and I hate that we're demeaning hard work. Because when you start to demean it, the hard work goes away. So we're gonna turn the Oscars, which is this grand thing, like it's a big deal if you win an Academy Award. But we're gonna turn that into something that is an everyday thing. So then why strive for that? Why put in a performance for that? It's not gonna happen. We're gonna dumb down our movies.
Pretty much. It's idiocracy for Hollywood. Yeah, it's basically going to be the socialism of Hollywood. Everybody wins.
Yeah. It's frustrating. It's frustrating that 2 people who have been acknowledged by the Academy, I believe. I know Spike Lee has. I think Jada has.
But you know what gets me, though? Here's the God honest truth. This is what really gets me. Both of them got millions of dollars. None of them are hurting for anything, really. They got their families. They got jobs. They got money. They got roof over their heads. Mm-hmm. Really, they have not for want. Meanwhile, In Flint, there's people that got bad water. I put up a statistic today that hurt a couple friends' heads when they read it. And what was it, like before 11, just in one state, before 11 a.m., 700 people have watched baby rape porn on the interwebs. That's just one state. And that's an FBI statistic. We have bigger problems going on in America, but we can't talk about those because you got two rich black people over in Hollywood boo-hooing because they're not up for a stupid damn award. Sorry, I got little kids out there that cannot defend themselves against sexual predators, and you're boo-hooing because of that. Shut your face. Come to my house and start boo-hooing, and I will tell you right to your face, should it.
I have a solution.
What?
I have a solution. Something that'll bring that to light and help these two whiny crybabies with the Oscars. Spike Lee should make a movie about this insidious problem that we have in our country. Jada and Will Smith should produce it. And they should cast the good guy or good girl, or both good guy and good girl, as black actors and actresses, and the bad guys as white.
All right, I'll buy it.
They'll win Oscars.
Jared Fogle could play the bad guy.
He's in jail.
The subway guy.
No, but that could solve the problem. There you go. You pick a subject that nobody else is doing. You research it. You write a script that is phenomenal, that helps highlight this and what the FBI is doing and all that good stuff. You cast it correctly. Boom. There you go. Problem solved. You're welcome. I expect a check in the mail when this
10%.
movie goes, grows like wildfire.
Right.
Yep.
You should get 10%.
15.
Okay.
It's a finder's fee and idea woman. That's at least 15%.
There you go. I'll agree with you.
Yeah. So there you go. It's on record now.
We saved a crisis.
Solving problems left, right, and center. That's what we do.
Boom. How you doing?
Hollywood should hire us.
They should, because let's face it, we won't rehash a lot of what they're doing. Because there's no way I would have ever allowed Point Break to ever get remade.
No, wait.
No way. God's green earth.
Do you know what I just read?
Huh.
They're rebooting Labyrinth.
Oh, hell no! No, that's up there with Kanye trying to sing Bowie song. No, just stop. Stop. Stop.
I don't know what I need to do to make that stop, but it needs to stop. I hope Iman is gonna march into somebody's office and be like, you shut this down. You shut this down right now.
Oh, could you imagine her having a supermodel breakdown? Oh, man, Candle could hold a candle to her. Oh my God, that would be awesome.
I don't understand. I don't understand this philosophy of, oh, a Hollywood star has died. Let's remake all their movies. No,
I would put them back into the theaters for for a limited time showing.
Exactly. You put Labyrinth in the theaters, I'll go see it like 300 times. I alone will keep it afloat. But don't remake it. You can't remake it. Jim Henson That was his last movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You don't remake that. There is no other person that can play Jared.
No.
There is no other person. And I'm sorry, Jennifer Connelly was perfect in that role. You don't mess with perfection. I'm irritated about that. Hollywood, there are fresh ideas out there. Please, please go find them. There are new books being written.
Just come to us. We already gave you one really awesome movie idea. Come to us. 10 to 15% is all you gotta pay.
See, if they don't come to us, then they end up with San Andreas. I'm just saying. True. No one consulted us on that. We would have told you, shut that shit down.
Right.
But
how dare you
no
put
one
The
else.
Rock in such an awful movie?
And he's so pretty.
He is. I kind of miss his hair though. I still don't like the bald look on him because I like my Rocky Maivia look on him.
But yeah, why you put him in San Andreas? Why did you make such a horrible movie?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
We're about out of time anyways.
We didn't even get to talk about Macklemore.
He sucks. Yay!
Yay! We talked about him. Hooray! Don't buy his albums. Okay.
Yeah. And as always, if you disagree or just what?
Here's my PSA. Stop trying to make Macklemore a thing. It's not gonna happen. Okay. Sorry. That's just my little PSA for.
Okay.
I'm done now.
As always, if you agree, disagree, or whatever, want to tell me how awesome I am because I already know it, you can catch me at Beautifly Wings on the Twitters.
And same thing here. If you agree, disagree, whatever, you just want to tell me that I'm super awesome, cool. Go ahead and hit me up at In-Depth Girlism on Twitter or find us on Facebook at May Dames.
So, bye.
Bye.